Wedding. It seems to be a common theme with this family. So we're here to celebrate the life and mourn the passing of Dr. Joseph Julian Gilmore Brooks. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Joseph Daniel Brooks, and I'm his son. I'm named for him and for his biological father, although I go by Jody. And I actually prepared a few things to say on our drive up. A lot of thoughts that started coming up, and even this morning at the hotel room, so I definitely wanted to capture that and didn't want to miss out, so I'll be looking up and down as we continue. I'm honored to be standing here today before you all, giving the closing remarks. It's been very special for me to see so many of us friends and family talk about stuff that I didn't know, or for me to see another side of my father. Because I always thought he was a great dancer. So to hear he didn't have any rhythm and any beat, and I actually mentioned what a great dancer he is in here, so I'm glad that we got the truth came out. Because usually when he started dancing, he'd try to pull the kids up, and I would go run and hide, because I didn't start dancing until 1992. But kind of live up to after that. My father and I had not been particularly close this last few years, but I never felt that I was without a father or without a father's love. On the drive up here from North Carolina, we were listening to Barack Obama's autobiography, Dreams of My Father. And our future president talks about the influence his absent father had on his upbringing. And I don't share that experience with him because my father was an integral part of my childhood and adolescence. I am the man I am today because of my parents' successes and failures, their indulgences and sacrifices, their hopes, fears, and dreams.
Uh-oh.
Not a strip show, don't worry. PG, it's PG. So in a society where many children are raised in a women-run, single-family home, my sisters and I came from a two-parent family. Now keep in mind, there's an upside and a very big downside to having very involved, caring parents. So for example, I can clearly remember one of the days when I got in trouble at school for some clearly minor transaction that the school administration decided to blow up into something bigger. But my father left work to come pick me up and really expressed his disappointment in me and my behavior. We got in the car and we drove around and ended up in a more impoverished area where he stopped the car and was like, don't you realize how blessed don't you realize how blessed your life had been and all the opportunities that you were given and the sacrifices that me and my mother had given for you? And he wanted me to look around and look at the kids in the neighborhood who didn't have those same opportunities and chances, and that I owed it to them and myself to make the most of those opportunities. Well, that message really resonated with me then, and it resonates with me now. My father then dropped me off at my mother's office, where the other and more painful lesson began. My mother was assistant principal, and she was the one who was in charge of paddling all the kids. So she had a big paddle, though I don't think she paddled me that day, but she's shaking her head. Anyway, so sports was always an important part of my father's life. And as many of you mentioned, I mean, he was very athletic and proud to be, very proud to be inducted to the Glassboro Hall of Fame High School. We just came across the trophy at the storage unit, so I felt it'd be appropriate that I present the rest of my remarks in his high school baseball jersey that I've kept for all these years. So it's so for me because we were driving up, and my mom's like, that's Glassboro High School, which is not Glassboro Intermediate School. And I'd never known, but I had this. And it's actually so old, it's actually back in style. And this is like 50 years old, so I did the rest for that. So my soccer career, as Heidi mentioned, my soccer career began because of a father who refused to let the fact that his son was too young to officially play in the league keep him from finding a way to fulfill his son's request. From basketball to tennis, soccer to track, my dad was always there pushing, supporting, teaching, consoling, cheering in excitement, and yelling in frustration. My father was a constant in my early sport years. The memories of my soccer club team, the Rose Lane Cougars, are probably my most fondest. Dad to me, Coach Brooks to others. He taught us skills for the pitch and lessons that followed us and that we followed for the rest of our lives. A big proponent for gender equity demonstrated through the support of his talented and athletic daughters. He undoubtedly would be glued to the TV right now watching the 2007 Women's World Cup soccer matches. I'm sure that my dad would want this memorial to be upbeat, as his brother, Sonny, mentioned earlier. An intelligent, witty man with a quick retort and a ready smile. He was always the life of the party. A great dancer. See, that's where I put the great dancer part. How about an ambitious dancer? Ambitious dancer who liked to show off his legs. He taught me more than he could know about navigating through the world as a black man. Through their voracious appetites for learning, my parents instilled in my siblings and I knowledge of self and a confidence that anything is possible if you work hard enough. However, regardless of how light and humorous our recollections of Joe Brooks are, the sobering fact is that Dr. Joseph Julian Gilmore Brooks is no longer with us on this earth as we knew him. We have all lost someone dear to us, a friend to some, a mentor to others, a brother, an uncle, a cousin, a coach, a father. We will miss him, but through each of us, his memory and legacy will live on. Thank you.
Thank you all again for coming. Yeah. We have the space for a little longer, so you're not going to be kicked out, but the service concludes. Thank you. Oh, I'll play the pictures again too if anything.
I thought you could end up in a uniform, like with the shorts, because it say like clothes like that.
You're right. Always like that.
What are you all doing? I mean, are you going home today?
Leaving the 7 in the morning because Jacob is in Tennessee.